What's going on, y'all? Fox Sports All back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. And the first half of the season is pretty much a wrap at this point, all right? I know there's 17 games, so technically there is no halfway point, like a nice even number that used to be 16. And we would just break it down. 8 games into the season, or after 8 games would be the halfway point. Well, we're 9 games into the season, so I consider this a halfway point. And plus, the Bears are on their bye week. All right, so this is a perfect opportunity to take a look at the first half of the season and see how it went. So if I take a look at the first half of the season, the Bears are 3-6 right now, okay? And they have 3 wins coming up against the Lions, the Raiders, and the Bengals. And their 6 losses are coming up against the Rams, the Browns, the Packers, the Bucks, 49ers, and the Steelers. My overall analysis summed up into one word for how the Bears' first half of the season went, I would say is predictable. All right? And I say that because that's exactly what I had the Bears being at the halfway point of the season. Go back and look at the video. I posted it on my Twitter. Again, not to gloat or anything, guys, just to kind of let you guys know how much of a predictable team sometimes I feel like the Bears are. And maybe that's just me having a good sense of what this team really is. But all of the games the Bears won, I thought that they would. All the games that the Bears lost, I thought that they would. And I had the Bears going 3-6 through the first 9 games. So when I go a little deeper into my analysis and I take a look at the games that they've lost, right? Because, of course, the games that you win, you're like, you did your job. Well, who did they lose to? The Rams, a better team. No doubt about it. Nobody can argue with their Super Bowl contender. The Browns, I believe they're a better team when healthy. Fully healthy, they're a better team. Potential Super Bowl contender when healthy. Keyword. The Packers, they're better than the Bears. Nobody would argue that. The the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're the defending Super Bowl champions, for crying out loud. They're better, all right? The San Francisco 49ers, okay, debatable. Sometimes you could say that they are, sometimes really not. They're very inconsistent. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, same answer. And if I had to pick one game on here that the Bears obviously should have won, it would be the Steelers game. They got screwed by the refs. And we all know that that is the case because the NFL pretty much said that in their post-game report after they pointed out that the referees missed some crucial calls. I don't want to get into the entire diatribe about the Bears and how they got screwed out of the Steelers game, because here's the thing, folks. Win or lose that game, the Bears aren't winning the Super Bowl. So, again, I get it, but it is what it is. So, the only game you really could say would be the Steelers game, because we lost the Niners game, I think, by 10 points, 11 points, something like that. So, instead of 3-6, you're looking at 4-5, which looks a lot better than 3-6. I agree. And that could be the difference between maybe keeping some people's jobs on this roster and not. But overall, pretty much what I expected the Bears to be at this point. They are pretty much an average to below average team that beats up on bad teams, and they can't hang with the elite teams in the NFL. Now, there is no shame in losing to somebody better, right? There's no shame in that. They're better for a reason, but there is always shame in the way you lose. And that is why I believe with the Bears being 3-6, and even though we have seen good development from Justin Fields, our future franchise quarterback, hopefully, there is a reason I still feel like Matt Nagy is going to get fired after the season because of the way that the Bears have competed in these games. And some of these games, they've just been flat out blown out. It hasn't been close, and it's been pretty much the fault of the offense. And this is the 4th year in Matt Nagy's offense, and he still has not been able to figure it out. If we're losing these games to elite teams, but we're hanging in there, I get that. But if we're not hanging in there and we're still losing to these elite teams and we're getting blown out, that's a problem. That's a problem. So to me, again, overall, expected the Bears to be in the spot. I don't think they're a playoff team, and it's pretty much what this roster is at this point. And again, I'll go back to this. I say this a lot, but it's true. The season's never been about wins or losses to me. I give you guys a win or loss because, again, you guys want to hear it. So I got to give the people what they want, but it's all about development this season, right? It's all about development. If you're not first, you're last. And so if you're not winning the Super Bowl, what are you looking for? How to get to the Super Bowl, and that is to get a franchise quarterback. And this season's all about the development of Justin Fields. And Justin Fields, again, has been pretty solid the past couple of weeks going into the bye week. And you love to see that. Very encouraging to see that. And a couple of the other young players on this team, not just Justin Fields, right? We've got Darnell Mooney, who's been solid this season. I like his and how he's coming along. Cole Kmet's been stepping up as of late. Larry Borum on the offensive line. We drafted him this year. He's been solid. What about Khalil Herbert, man? He's been a stud, right? A total surprise for the Chicago Bears. And you go down the list, Tevin Jenkins, we could be getting him back. And it's really about the youth on this roster and development for years to come surrounding Justin Fields with the right talent. So for this season, predictable, expected the Bears to be at this point what they are. My full prediction for the season was 7-10. This team looks like a 7-win team at this point. But again, if Justin Fields looks good, I don't really care. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.